don't think she adjusted it. Maybe just moved it around a little.
She's got her eyes closed, obviously visualizing the one key that she wants to work on.
Well, I think it goes back to the situation. She's putting herself in a certain frame of mind and blocking everything out but her concentration on her target. Good shot. And here is where the 10-pin stands, the 7-pin stands.
Now, let me ask you about that. Why all of a sudden, when the pressure is on, do you start to leave those half-10s and half-7s? Is it because you may be squeezing that ball a little bit?
Just a little bit, and, you know, the pins are going to react to that because you don't get quite the same rotation. You may get 1 revolution less, you may get half a revolution less, and it's going to make all the difference in the world in carrying out those corners. Good shot on the six.
A 7-pin lead for Carol Norman through 6 frames, so we're better than halfway home.
Carol looks like she made some really excellent shots early. She left that solid 8, where she could, at this point, be up by 20 pins. But she's starting to look a little bit more careful, and I think what's going to have to happen is if she's going to win this title, she's going to have to open up and be as loose as she was in the semifinal match against Lisa.
Which brings me to another question, and I'll wait until after this shot.
Good shot.
Good reaction, you know, as soon as she let it go. At this point, Virginia, now do you become more aggressive or more conservative if you're in the lead a little bit?
You can never become conservative in this sport. This is a sport where you have to play offense. Here, Carol's reaction, get up there, a little bit light, but she carries.
Well, I guess there's no defense in bowling, only offense, huh?
No, because the minute you start playing defense in bowling, you make spares that are very difficult to convert.
Cindy Coburn, she needs to answer the riddle of lane 36, and she does. That was by far and away her best shot, do you think, on the right-hand lane?
Well, she made an excellent shot early in the match, and then she got a little bit lost, but I think it was her more than the lane. Here she goes all the way through the shot, and she definitely is playing a little deeper on the lane than Carol Norman is.
The Coburn family, obviously Mother Doris with several national titles. Her sister Kathy won a national tournament, and obviously Cindy has won 11 of her own. It's the only family in the United States where mom and both daughters have national championships. That's amazing.
Well, it was really funny. I can remember talking to Doris about 10 or 12 years ago, and she and Cindy's sister Kathy were both out on tour, and they were talking about the younger daughter was far and away a better bowler. I guess she's proving that. Oof.
Oh, my goodness.
8.
And the 10-pin nearly stood up.
She's in a real predicament now. She knows she has to make this spare. Not an easy one by far. However, she looks like she tried to play this lane a little bit more similar to the way she played 36, tried to go through it the same. And that's not a good shot on this lane.
And she's got her hands full now with a 2.87. Cheryl Daniels convert this in the opening match. Come on, how about a little help? And there it is. That is about as good a pressure shot, Virginia Norton, as you're going to find in this situation.
It certainly is, and I'll tell you what, here we're going to see get a chance to see it again. You have to send the 2 into the 7, and she barely gets it, but barely is enough here. 7 pins separating these two ladies. Carol Norman right now in a position where if she can strike, she can start to open up a lead, so she has got to start being aggressive again. Better shot. Not to be.
Same half-10.
Same half-10, but that one was not a careful shot like the one she threw back in the 6th frame.
Excellent crowds all week long, and they reacted to the ladies, but I don't want to use an old cliche, but I guess I would. You could hear a pin drop in here right now, even if it would be a 3.6-pound weight pin, right?
That's right.
I know one thing. Carol Norman was hoping to listen to the 10-pin drop on that last shot, but she'll take the spare if she can get it.
She pulled it a little bit. She was able to go a little harder with the shot.
Still a 7-pin lead, both players with spares in the 8th frame. And there you see the gaze of a true competitor. I kidded her a little this week. I said, oh, you're from Oklahoma. Have you ever met Brian Bosworth? She said, oh, yeah, he coaches me all the time. What a great sense of humor.
Carol really does have a nice sense of humor. Right now, the only thing going through her mind is how big these next two frames are. By far the biggest two frames that Carol Norman has ever had in her career.
Well, the toughest thing for her is she'll have to finish the match in the 10th. This, of course, in the 9th frame. Would love a foundation strike if she could get it.
And she threw that one great. Rips the 5 out.
Now a possible 219 if Carol Norman would strike out in the 10th.
And just watch the power of this ball hit the pins. Half hit, the 5 goes into the 4-7, setting up a situation where she cannot be locked out in this match.
First order of business now for Cindy Coburn is to strike on the right-hand lane. This is for all the marbles. Oh, my goodness. Solid 10, and now the pressure is really on.
Certainly is. She threw a very, very good shot. The ball broke a little late, but there again, you're going to watch the 6 wrap around the 10. Very nice shot.
Now the key now is to make the spare and strike out and at least force Carol Norman to make at least the first strike in the 10th.
That's right.
Got to take them one at a time, though. There's the spare. The end of the 9th. Now Cindy Coburn, really, the tournament comes down. Virginia Norton trying to strike out here in the 10th frame. If she doesn't, it's all over.
That's right. Well, you can't say it's all over. At that point, Carol Norman would still need to mark if Cindy can fill up this 10th frame. And under the circumstances, I think that mark, the ball might get a little bit heavy.
I have a feeling you might be right.
She cannot get that 7 to trip out of there.
Well, 190 the possible now. And Carol Norman currently operating in a 199 clip.
Cindy needing to make this spare and not let Carol off the hook the way Lisa did with a bad count.
Uh-oh. Oh, no, 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 no.
It's
oh,
all over.
That's it. Well, 179, a tragic end to Cindy Coburn's week. And really, at this point in time, Carol just needs to stay behind the line. And right now, she's about as excited as she'll ever be at this point.
I think Carol is probably trying to fight back some tears at this point. I've got one framed bowl. Good shot. Great shot.
And that'll do it.
Look at the smile on her face. What a tremendous champion, and there are the tears that she was trying to fight back.
Carol Norman out of Ardmore, Oklahoma, with her first major championship, and she'll always remember about the strike she threw to really lock things up.
That's right. Carol Norman, I don't know if she's even going to be able to see her target. I don't think Carol
doesn't make any difference. Carol Norman at this point, the most exciting woman professional bowler in the United States, because she has captured the Seagram's Cooler U.S. Open. And we'll be back to talk with Carol right after these messages.